Well, hello there. Thank you everyone for coming along on this little drive and talk. It's snowing out. Now I gotta be honest with you, being here in central Pennsylvania, it's not exactly something I appreciate. But yes, it is snowing. Thank you everyone for tuning in, for coming along, for listening to me go on about whatever I want to talk about each day. Whether you're on the couch, watching on TV, on your phone, your computer, your tablet, or your game system. Wow, that's a big crow right there. Yeah, jeez. But yeah, it is snowing out. The valley here looks pretty, actually. Looks very nice with the snow. Nice and calm. The traffic, not so much. Yeah, so I have another appointment I need to take my child to, so half day at work today. It was a halvesy. Which is okay. It's a Friday. I just don't like taking the time. It is Friday, February 6th, 2026. And so I figure I did have a couple things planned originally to film today. But with the snow, with the time, it's just not going to work out. I may be able to squeeze something in though. I might be able to squeeze something in. It just means this will not be a continuous shoot, which I'm sure by the time this gets into your hands to consume, you won't care. But in any case, it's just a little different tone today. Yeah, where I'm taking my daughter to the doctor's is actually on the way back closer to where I work, where I live, and where I have to pick her up is a little over a half an hour away. So needless to say, it's a busy day today. Went into work early, leaving early, taking her to the doctor's, and there was a site up there, the kind of history story that I really appreciate, one that I'll probably tell at some point, but it's a really difficult story to tell because it has to do with the Cold War and some spy stuff, and the site that the story's about, it's got some security to it, so you have to stay in the public spaces to even film the outside of the building. But it's a really kind of a neat story with a little bit of a human interest side to it, along with an old Cold War story, which I would actually enjoy telling you all. And so I'm reserving that for a future episode. Maybe the next time I'm in that area. Maybe I take a special trip, because the next time I have to take one of my kids, it'll be both of my kids, to the same place for an appointment around the same time because I happen to get them both scheduled together. And the company that I'm working for is actually, instead of being 35, 40 minutes away from my house, they're moving to my hometown where I live. So my drive will actually be 8 minutes to work. So the disadvantage is I won't be near a lot of the interesting things in the area where I'm shooting currently. That's the negative, I guess I would say. The positive is I get to save a lot of gas money and time, which means maybe I have time to switch it up a little bit and do some other stuff. Because in my hometown, there's also a lot of interesting things, historic things, and just a little bit different environment, a little bit different vibe over there, though. So, it'll just change some things up. One of those things in my hometown, I may take you to today if I have time. It'll be closer to the end of the vlog. But right here, we are on our ride home, and off to the right, it's interesting. There's a mountain that can clearly be seen every day. Right over there, there's a mountain with a ski resort on it. Right now, you cannot see that mountain because of the snow that is being put down. Might be able to get a peek of it up here. Let's see. Nope, can't see it. Barely maybe see a shadow of it peeking through the snow. But that's about it. Window. It's incredibly dirty from all the stuff that the road crews have put down on the road. And the snow hasn't really picked up. It's not really bad right now. Nothing earth-shattering. Nothing that I'm not used to dealing with. But I have to tell you, when the company that I work for moves to my side of this mountain that I'm going to travel soon, that I'm going to be on shortly, the snow trips, they'll be a lot easier. A lot easier. It'll be 8 minutes to work, 8 minutes back. It's actually, interestingly enough, in a facility, in a site that I previously used to work in or work at for another different company. We're moving into one of the spaces that company used to occupy. And to be fair, it's not in a vacuum. The company I currently work for, I went to work for them because of my familiarity with the majority of people that work there, because they used to work at that other company that occupied that building that we're going to. So, I work in a very interesting, almost incestuous business, if you will. And so a lot of us in the business know each other and familiar with each other. In any case, this weekend is just packed full of stuff. So I am going to go stay tonight in a location with Mrs. Rat. We're going away for a night, and I'm going to do some filming there, even if it's going to snow. I don't care. I'm going to do some filming there of some roadside attractions, because this area just has some of the largest amount of roadside attractions. The roadside attractions that you would see listed on roadsideamerica.com or .net or whatever it is. There is just a huge concentration of roadside attractions there. And I'm, going to be spending tonight there and a good portion of the day tomorrow there, and then hopping on the Lincoln Highway, which I don't know what you may know about the Lincoln Highway, but it's one of the old roads, one of the roads that they intended to go from coast to coast. I don't think it was ever completed, but I think you can follow it most of the way out. I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I'm just saying that. Maybe you can follow it the whole way out to San Francisco, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I'm again, don't do any book reports on that information. But in any case, there's a lot of roadside attractions on that road too here in Pennsylvania, and I intend to see a few, but also the two towns that I'm going to, the one that I'll already be in and the one that I'm going to, have a really interesting story about, having to do with the founding fathers of this country and the beginning of this country. And I'm going to tell that story for the next America 250 vlog, which will be out at the end of the month. But this weekend I intend on filming. Unfortunately, with the snow and with the cold, it's supposed to be one of the coldest days tomorrow and into Sunday that we've had yet. And we've had some Arctic chills. So I mean, it's gonna be a doozy, and I'm planning on filming. So here's hoping that goes well. But anyways, that is the weekend. I'll be back tomorrow evening at my home, but it's gonna be a cold weekend, and I have plans in the midst of it. Life carries on in the midst of Arctic chills, and so will mine. So yeah, a lot of filming and shooting this weekend, hopefully, and a lot of fun with my wife. Just getting away and for a day and overnight. So that's what we're doing, and that's what's happening tonight, and that's why I kind of under a time constraint as what I can show you today. So again, if I'm able to go to that site I was talking about and show you something kind of cool, that's where the vlog will end, and that'll happen right here. Told you, right? Didn't I tell you? I told you. Maybe I'd take you somewhere. This is one of the most recognizable places in the Juniata Valley area in central Pennsylvania. Right now, it's covered in snow. I wish I could show you what the surface of this bridge looks like, because it's quite remarkable. It's a very old bridge. The creek runs underneath it. Not really sure what creek that is. But this old bridge, it's a point of pride for this community. Very old, of course. There's not a route that goes through here anymore. There's no horse and buggies here anymore. They created a little park out of it here. And with the snow and the frozen creek, I figured maybe y'all would appreciate a look at the Stone Arch Bridge. Just for you guys, just for you, do I do something like this. It's a beautiful bridge. We'll talk about it on a future episode somewhere along the way. But I just thought, man, I'll bet you the Stone Arch Bridge looks really pretty in the snow right now. That's gonna do it for today. Have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. Dreams, grass, and churros. See you then.